But going into Week 16, the Miami Dolphins had over an 80% chance of going to the playoffs. All they had to do was win a game, and a couple of teams had to lose, and they were locks. Well, needless to say, that 80% went down to 0% real quick after they got shellacked by the Buffalo Bills. So the playoffs are set. You had the Buffalo Bills take on the Colts, Steelers take on the Browns, Titans versus Ravens, Saints versus Bears, Seahawks versus Rams, and football team versus Buccaneers. But Wyatt, let's kick over to Miami real quick. Did Miami Dolphins mess up by not letting Ryan Fitzpatrick finish out that season?
I think so, honestly. I said it was a mistake from the second that it happened, but I did embrace Tua time, or what I thought was Tua time, but that was terrible. I mean, Tua played horribly. 3 picks and 1 touchdown. The Bills' offense was too much for Miami, even while their starters were getting limited reps. I mean, we didn't even see Josh Allen for, 2 quarters, right? Maybe 3?
Yeah.
and they got blown out. I mean, 56 points, that's a lot, especially for, like I said, limited reps. I mean, that's something that you would see a starting offense do. Like, the best starting offense in the league would put up 56 points. Not a split touches offense because they're trying to keep everybody healthy. But here's what I will say. They still have a top 5 pick in the draft because of the trade with Houston for Laramie Tunzel. So they're going to get a really good player in this draft. If they can get that tackle out of Oregon, I believe it's Penei Sewell is his name. It could be huge for them to replace that hole it seemed like was there because of Laramie Tunzel.
Here's what I don't get. The Miami Dolphins were in a playoff push. They were really good at the beginning of the season. And then they decided, hey, we're going to stick with our game plan, and Tua's going to start. Then Tua's starting, and they bring back in Ryan Fitzpatrick to save the day. Then they're like, well, Tua's still our starter. So then they put Tua back in. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in to save the day. And then they're like, Tua's still our guy. And then they start Tua again. And then Ryan Fitzpatrick has to come in to save the day again. Like, how many times does Ryan Fitzpatrick have to come in and save the day before they're just like, look, Ryan Fitzpatrick is the guy. Ryan Fitzpatrick should have started this game. Ryan Fitzpatrick should have played this damn game. Tua came in, and I sent you guys this meme after the game where there's this bus crossing the train tracks, and there's this freight train that comes through and smacks the bus, and the bus is the Dolphins going to the playoffs, and that train is Tua. Knocks them out of the damn playoffs. Tua
it wasn't funny.
Was not
really
ready.
Stupid,
It was very funny.
It was funny.
It was funny.
Tua was not ready. Fitzpatrick was the guy. And Fitzpatrick would have had them in the point where Tua could have played the last 2 weeks, and the last 2 weeks wouldn't have mattered. I understand that Fitzpatrick was out because of COVID, and Fitzpatrick couldn't have played because he was on the COVID reserve list or whatever the hell it was. But if they would have never played around with it, if Fitzpatrick would have stayed in as their starting quarterback, they would have never been in a position where they needed to win in Week 17 to get into the playoffs.
Well, there is where you're 100%. There is where you're 100% wrong, because we know Ryan Fitzpatrick is only good for about 5 or 6 games a year, and he started the first 5 games of the year, right? I mean, no, Combs. Look at history.
It's like you on this show. You're only good for about 5 or 6 minutes, and then you're done.
That's when I get 5 or 6 beers in, and then we're really good, right? But nonetheless, if you would look at the freaking stats, look at Ryan Fitzpatrick in Tampa Bay. Look at him at the 15 other spots that he played.
Look at him in Miami
5 games,
this
he's
season,
awesome.
Buck.
Then he sucks for the rest of the year.
Look at
He's
him
37
in Miami
years old
this season, and then even you say 5 or 6 games, and then he sucks. But 5 or 6 games, they were great. And then they brought in Tua.
Whoa! They were great. They lost to the freaking Patriots.
Oh my God!
They lost to the Bills.
They got killed by. They didn't lose to the Bills. They got annihilated by the Bills. Go ahead and just change that over.
They
had a 56 burger put on their head.
If Ryan
was
Fitzpatrick
terrible.
was the starting quarterback the entire way through the season, Week 16 and 17 wouldn't have mattered, and they would.
You're right. It wouldn't have mattered because they would have been 5 and 12, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Here, get out. Go.
Get out of where? Okay, let's flash back to the beginning of the year, Combs. I got the schedule right here. Week 1, they lost to the Patriots. Week 2, they lost to the Buffalo Bills. It was a close game, yeah. Okay, Week 3, they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars. Okay, 1-16 or whatever they are. Okay, and then they lost to the Seahawks, and then they beat the 49ers, and then they beat the Jets. So really, Ryan Fitzpatrick beat nobody. He literally beat nobody.
What was
Not
the record at
one
that
winning
point?
team that he won.
They were 4-2 when he came out. It
How
doesn't
were they-
matter whether or not they're winning teams.
They were
You
not
beat the
4-2.
teams that are in front of you. It doesn't matter if the team is 0-15.
This is
or
like
0-16.
whenever he
If
said
you don't- if you
Pittsburgh
don't
wasn't
believe it,
overrated.
then yeah, the Jets.
exactly what this
you don't
is.
think the Jets wanted to beat the 0-6 or the Steelers wanted to beat the 0-16 Jets? Are you out of your mind?
Combs, how can they be 4-2 when they lost 3 of their first 4? I'm asking for a friend.
Whatever. They were winning football games, and I hate you. I hate you so much. They were winning football games when they put in Tua. Is what I'm getting at. And then
You were
Tua
right.
came in.
They were
and
clicking.
Tua stuck up the joint. Every time Tua got in trouble, they brought in Fitzpatrick to save the day. Every time.
Didn't
Like it was like a relief pitcher was literally the way that Flores
didn't Tua
experienced-
didn't Tua start 5-1 as a starter though?
It was something like that.
I mean, like once again, I'm
Yeah,
asking
and you know
for a
why?
friend
because,
here.
Because they were down. When they were down in the fourth quarter, Fitzpatrick came in. That's
One
why he
game.
was still. He
One
still gets to
game.
win. He still gets to win as the starter.
He came in relief versus what, like the Chargers? What about the Cardinals?
Just
What
look,
about the Rams? What about
go-
the Jets?
go
What about the 49ers?
Walk back out there. Go look up at the ceiling at your Patrick Mahomes poster that you have up there on the ceiling.
Yeah.
You know, get out
Fucking
the
goat
little,
right there.
Get
Hell
out
yeah.
the napkins and the whatever else you use, and have fun with your. But I'm telling you right now, if Fitzpatrick is the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins and the starting quarterback of the Miami Dolphins, they're in the playoffs
Over who?
No.
over the Cleveland Browns.
Man Hour Nation. Thanks for checking out that Man Hour clip. You can check out the full episode in the link below in the description, or you can check us live Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. East Coast time on youtube.com/Man Hour. Or you can download the podcast form on Spotify and iHeartRadio.